I'm sort of the, what do they call, ringmaster of the LHS Jazz program. And it is my tremendous pleasure to welcome you back for the first Jazz Week in 3 years. I remember very vividly in 2020, we were working very feverishly with a wonderful trombonist named Natalie Cressman, and we were all set to give the concert, and then I think we all know what happened. So for most of these students, this is their first Jazz Week, their first chance to work in person with our guest artist, and we couldn't be more delighted with how it's gone. I have to do the official business first. Please note the exits closest to you. The one to my right, your left, is also an exit out into the quad. Hopefully such circumstances won't be necessary. Let me introduce the first of our groups tonight, the LHS Jazz Septet. Folks, that's your cue. And it's been a tradition for, I believe, about 30 years now. We're coming in on 30 years, and every year, thanks to your presence and the generosity of Foment, our booster group, which I'll talk about later, we've been able to bring a very high-level guest artist to LHS, and this year is no exception. We're pleased to welcome back a really wonderful sort of Boston institution. He's a saxophonist, he's a band leader, he's a remarkable sort of wonderfully curious person, and it's just been a joy to have him working both with the students and with the community this week, and I'll let him do some of the explaining. Ladies and gentlemen, Russ Gershon.
Hey, thanks for coming out. Thank you for having these wonderful children. It's been really fun to be hanging out with them and playing with them all week. We opened with Caravan, of course. I'm sure many of you recognize it, by Juan Tizal, who wrote it for the Duke Ellington Orchestra back in 1937, back when I was in high school. And that's Kyle taking the alto solo. And Peter at the piano. And at the drums. Now that I remember two of the names. So we're going to now continue with one of our Ethiopian tunes. This is a song called Musicali Silt. It was written in the 70s, and it was played by a band called the Walayas Band, which was a really great instrumental band, and also backed up a lot of singers during the 70s. In the late 70s, most of them, I think about 1980 actually, they managed to tour in America, and a lot of them stayed in America, and the band kind of disintegrated, but many of its members still play music and live in the Washington area, and a couple of them had nice career resurgences in recent times. Hailu Murgia, who wrote this song, has had a little comeback after many years of real obscurity, and Gurma Bayene, another member of that band, after many years of working at a gas station, managed to get his music career back on track, and so this is Musicali Silt. Musicality Silks. And that's Celia on guitar, Nick on tenor sax, Alex on bass, Eva on drums, Peter at the organ, Kyle at the alto saxophone, septet.
I just want to acknowledge, this is the last chance I get to do, as parents of seniors probably very well know, there's about 30 school days left before they're done. Not that they're reminding us constantly or anything, but this is going to be my last chance to acknowledge the seniors in septet and to thank them for 3 or 4 years, depending, of service to the program, including crazy Zoom improv classes and having to play in bands with me as the drummer, which Alex will tell you is punishment. So Celia Mala on guitar, Alex Versagas on bass, Eva Mala on drums. Thank you. We need to make a very brief set change, and we'll be right back.
Welcome back. I hope you enjoyed the intermission. Be sure to tip your bartender. So this is I get the names of all these groups mixed up. This is the combo. The combo. It's been super fun working with them. Really good musicians. And let me use that for dinner.
Yeah, well, that's no problem.
We're going to get back into the Ethiopian book for our first tune. It's called Amara Rumba. It was written by this man, Nurses Nalbandian, who I believe in our online QR code program notes, you can read a little bit about him. But just to give you a quick one, he was Armenian. He was born in 1917, I believe. He fled from Armenia in 1950, or his family had fled from Armenia in 1915 for good reasons, and which I won't go into now since I don't want to get too political here. He, as a 21-year-old, he was living in Aleppo, which is now in Syria. You may have heard of it. It's been in the news, unfortunately, about 10 years ago. And his uncle summoned him to Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. His uncle was living there. His uncle Kavort Nalbandian, who had moved to Addis from Jerusalem because the future emperor Haile Selassie, future emperor of Ethiopia, heard a brass band that Uncle Kavort was leading, consisting of all Armenian orphans, and he liked the band so well that he adopted the entire band, all 40 of them, and took them back to Ethiopia, and they became the first brass band in Ethiopia, because Haile Selassie, the emperor, wanted to have brass bands. I'll leave a lot of steps of the story out, but eventually, 20 years later, Nurses Nalbandian was made the director of music at the Haile Selassie National Theatre. And their opening song was called Amara Rumba, which combines two elements of music that he was that were important to him. Amara is the Amaras, it's an ethnic group in Ethiopia. And rumba, of course, is like a Latin rhythm. He loved Latin music, but he was dealing with Ethiopian music too. So this is sort of a fusion of a kind of a Latin rhythm and an Ethiopian melody. Amara Rumba. You're Dan, right? Okay, I got that much. Dan's getting introduced to the soloists.
Yeah. Got Sam over there on saxophone. Keshav on guitar solo on that one. Yeah. On the next two, we're gonna have. Oh, yeah. Coltrane. Oh, Tommy.
If he needed mistakes, I could have made them. Okay, so next up, when Mr. Donaher was asking me, what do you want to do with these kids? And I said, I don't know. And so I sent him a bunch of material that I had been playing recently with other groups, and a song that he wanted to do was a song from Herbie Hancock. I'm sure most of you know Herbie Hancock. He had a really great band around 1970 called the Herbie Hancock Sextet, and we're going to play a song from. It was kind of like in his transition from his acoustic jazz period to his electric period, so it's kind of sort of in between sounding music, and it's a song called "You'll Know When You Get There." know when you get there by Herbie Hancock from his great sextet. And once again, I'm going to hand the mic to Dan.
Oh yeah, solo from Tommy at the beginning. Tommy Bentley on bass. Sam Monsi on saxophone. Yeah, Russ also. Let's give it up for Russ. Oh wow. Oh, Amato, obviously on violin. Thank you.
So we have one more, and it's a great tune by the great Billy Strayhorn, who was Duke Ellington's sort of alter ego and the second composer for the Ellington band. Duke discovered Strayhorn when he was a teenager and living in Pittsburgh, and he came backstage at a Duke Ellington concert in like 1939 or something, and said, "Mr. Ellington, I'm a big fan, and I have a song I'd like to play for you." And he played the song "Lush Life," which he had written as a teenager. I don't know if any of you know the song "Lush Life." It's one of the most amazing ballads ever written in American music. And so Duke said, "I'm going to have something for you." And then a year or two later, he sent him a telegram. It was back in those days. And Billy Strayhorn hopped on a train, got to New York, and the instructions for how to find Duke Ellington's apartment were, well, you get up at Penn Station, and then you go to the subway, and to get uptown, you take the A train. And so Billy was like, "Yeah, that's catchy, right?" And so before he got to New York, he wrote a song called "Take the A Train." And then when he got to New York, he showed it to Duke, who said, "That's good. I think I could use it." And it became the Ellington Band's theme song for the rest of his career for the next 3 years. So this is by Billy Strayhorn. It's called "Rain Check." Let's hear it for everybody. The combo.
Thank you. We have a little bit bigger set change, so we hope you'll be patient. And do we have our folks from FOMAX here? Cerise? So while we do that, as I said, this program would not be possible without the generous support of our booster group, Friends of Lexington Music, Drama, and Visual Art, FOMAX. So we have a couple of the folks on the board who would like to say a little bit about them and what we can do. Oh, before I do, you may notice that gentleman's a little old to be in high school. We had an issue with our drummer, Brooks Hoffman, who was kind enough to come in and play with us tonight. So anyhow, so I will cede the floor.
My name is Cerise Jalali of Kime, proud mom to a class of 22. My friend is Linda Wartheimer-Mintz. We're members of the FOMAGs, which is the Friends of Lexington Music, Arts, and Drama, of which each and every one of you is a de facto member because you're here. And you have a student on stage. And I see toes tapping, and I'm happy to report that each one of you has the opportunity to volunteer.
Well said. And I am a parent, proud member of class of 2026, so he'll be starting at Lexington next year, Lexington High School. We really need you. There are concerts from now until June, and we can't do it without you. So when there's a break, there's a sign-up sheet out there for volunteers, and even if you have a senior, there still are shows through the end of the year. And we're all volunteers that do this, and there are other ways to help even if you can't come to an event. So please go to www.fomads.org or check out the sheet up front. And I'll tell you, we're a real fun bunch of people. We all love music and the arts and drama. So thank you very much, and I hope you get involved.
Well, good evening, folks. Can you hear me okay? Okay, thank you. So thank you so much for your patience on that. This group is called the Jazz Big Band. At least that's what it was called when you saw them in December. I think it's now called the Jazz Really Big Band. I have only a passing knowledge of science at best, and there's probably a lot of scientists present. In fact, I think I see one right now. I apologize in advance if I'm getting this wrong, but I'm fairly certain that all entities create some gravity field, and the more mass you attract, the bigger you get. Something like that. I don't know. Sorry, am I on the right track? Okay. So anyway, I just feel like every time I come to rehearsal, there's like 2 or 3 more kids, and I think the more there are, the faster they come. So I think we've reached some sort of critical mass, but I'm really hoping that for swing night, it doesn't collapse in on itself and become a black hole. Is that green height? Is that right? Anyway, cool. All right. I wanted something for the scientists who are here. So cool. So we are going to start with Blues March, and I will tell you about the solos afterwards. Thank you so much for applauding me. As there are a lot of people in the band, there are a lot of people to acknowledge on solos for that. We got a lot of people in on one chorus. I think in December I was saying it was their first time ever soloing in concert. So I can't say that anymore. Now it was their third time soloing in concert. So as you can see, things have improved considerably. The folks you heard were Will on tenor saxophone, Gershon on piano, Ruben on guitar, Nick on tenor saxophone, Jacob on alto saxophone, Sean on tenor saxophone, Oli on guitar, Philip on tenor saxophone, Emmy on piano, and Steven on drums. That's a lot of people, and it was one of those things where you guys weren't sure, should you stop clapping in between, or should you keep going the whole time? And I think you guys did a great job by clapping the whole time. I hope you have some. Oh, thank you. I hope you have some clapping left over for the other two songs, but we understand if you've run out. Anyway, it's time for me to. Well, I was going to say invite him. He's here already. He knew there was an invitation coming. I wanted to welcome once again Mr. Russ Gershon. It always feels like the right thing to say that of all the guest artists we've ever had, he's really, but then I don't want to be unfair to the other ones, but I will say this. Not every guest artist that we've had here at Lexington High School, this is my 16th year here, in that time, not every guest that we've had, although they've all been phenomenal musicians, they haven't all been great teachers. And it's amazing how those things don't always go hand in hand. However, without wanting to use the word best, I will say that Mr. Gershon is amongst the very best teachers we've had as a guest artist. He's one of the very, very few who I think can come to a high school and meet every single student exactly where they're at. So it's been an incredible week of learning with Mr. Gershon. We're so glad he can join us on stage. Our next tune is Little Sunflower. Thank you so much. Of course, this is Russ Gershon on soprano saxophone. It looks like a clarinet, but I'll give it credit to the saxophone family on that one. It is a saxophone. And that was also Nick again on tenor saxophone and Kyle on alto saxophone. All right, well, I'm sure Mr. Donaher is going to do some thank yous at the end, so I'll just throw out a couple there that I think might not make the cut. I want to say thank you to Johnny DePerno up in the sound booth, who you basically wouldn't hear anything if it wasn't. No, it's not that simple. But in any case, because you're able to hear things well because of him, you're able to hear me well because of him. We all have a ton of performances all the time, but not all the teachers are there for everyone, but Johnny's there for everyone. So thank you, Johnny DePerno. We rehearse, of course, at night, and during the night, or in the evening anyway, the custodial staff is hard at work. They're very accommodating for the fact that we're still there when they're trying to clean up. In fact, they're extremely nice to the students. And there's even one who has sat down and jammed with them before. So his name is Rob Walters. He's the guitarist, you guys. I don't know if you guys remember that. But yeah. So, okay. Anyway, so I just want to say a big thank you to the LHS custodial staff. I want to say thank you to Pat Donaher, who's not likely to thank himself. This entire week, all the logistics, the tickets, every single detail you can picture in terms of organizationally speaking, putting this concert together, and then of course 3 of the ensembles were all entirely in his hands. When it comes to putting events together, I'm not the most useful. I don't think he would say that, but I'm telling you that. So we're all here and we're all organized, and this is happening because of him, so I can't see anything right now. Wherever you are, Pat, and I'm sure you want to hear our last piece and have us move on, but there's one more group I want to thank, and that's all of you. The fact is that not a single one of these people, both literally, figuratively, and in every other sense, these young people would not be here if it wasn't for you. And the fact is they are incredible people. It is true that we're here from 6 to 8 p.m. 2 nights a week. Some of them are coming from sports practices. I'm coming from a full day of work. And it's kind of hard to do other stuff in between. You just kind of sit there and wait. But in any case, it always makes for a really long day. but I couldn't think of a better group of people that I want to stay that late for. They're incredible, and whether it's upbringing, whether it's genetics, or who even knows if it's something in the water, all I know is they're fantastic, so thank you for supporting them and for supporting our program. I'm just going to go ahead and announce the last solos now before we move on, just so that we can front load that, and then we can start you off the stage when it's time for the final group. So you're about to hear a piece called Count Bobo. It's going to feature Kyle again on alto saxophone, Nick on tenor saxophone. You're going to hear some vibraphone from Jacob over there, which is really cool. He's doing some drums before. He may or may not have a role upcoming in the evening as well. Russ Gershon again, and finally, Alex Segas on bass. Can you just hold up your bass? I don't know if everyone can see it, but this is the part where you're supposed to go, ooh. It's a new bass that he brought to school the other day, and people were gathering around, and when people gather around Alex, I assume it's because he has a new bass, so it happens once in a while. Anyway, so thank you so much for your patience, and here's our final tune.
little bit. So I want to tell you something funny. I was standing backstage as we were setting up, and one of the people in the band said, "Mr. Gershon, what's the largest jazz band you've ever seen?" And I said, "Big, like the most famous?" They said, "No, the most people." And I said, "I think this might be it." But I also continued, and I said, "But you guys play together and keep really good rhythm, even though there's like 123 people here. And the reason that they can do that is because they're learning how to listen to each other, which is a skill that, you need in music, but we need all the time in life, right? So I think this band is succeeding on many levels. So thank you guys. Nice job.
That was Thelonious by Thelonious Monk, arranged by Miho Hazama, who is a really remarkable Japanese composer arranger that I was hip to a couple of years ago. That was going to be our opener 2 years ago, so we decided we would bring it back for tonight, and also we're headed to UMass Amherst for their high school jazz festival, so that'll be our closer there. We're going to continue with something completely different. This was the original anthem for the Organization of African Unity. It's since been replaced. It's another one by Nurses Nalbandian, who Russ has talked a little bit about. And it'll feature, last tune, I don't want to miss anybody, featured Coltrane Park on baritone saxophone, Sam Lansky on saxophone, Lorenzo Costello on trumpet, a really crazy solo with Aryamar on trumpet and Raj Dutta on soprano saxophone, and Haru Mukherjee on the clarinet. So this one will feature Russ again and Nick Lamb on piano, and am I missing anybody? Oh, Sam again on tenor. So African. Okay, so in the pre-pandemic times, I remember I went out to see Russ with Trio. Brooke was playing drums, and in between, strange 60s jazz tunes and other various exotica, he said, "I want to play one of the greatest songs ever written." And it was a song that I had forgotten about. There are a few folks, I think, in the audience who may or may not be old enough to remember. This was a big radio hit in the 1960s, the late 1960s, for Glenn Campbell, who's most famous for being a member of the Wrecking Crew, which was the great LA studio band. So I said, and sure enough, John Hollenbeck apparently is a great drummer. He's the director of jazz studies at McGill University. He shares my taste because he wrote this really unusual arrangement of this tune, which we're going to present with Russ, both singing and playing, and also our fantastic vocalist, Tanisha Snell. He absolutely blew the roof off when we played at the UNH Jazz Festival, and we're excited to feature her some more in events coming, that I'll talk about in a moment. But for now, this is Wichita Line. This will also feature Keisha on guitar again.
Short vacation, but it don't look like rain. And if it snows, that stretch down south will never stand the strain. And I need you more than watching, and I want you for all time. And the Wichita line is still on the line.
Russ, Gershon. Before we go, a few more words of thanks and more plugs. If you scroll all the way down on the QR code, I like these new digital programs, but they feel very long. But there are the upcoming events, or I want to highlight the jazz upcoming events. Before COVID, we were trying to sort of broaden our impact a little bit to a larger community. We haven't played outside these walls in the town of Lexington since I got here. So, Lord and weather willing, on Monday, May 16th, we will be having our first gazebo concert in at least 15 years, featuring some of the music that we've played at festivals but haven't played here in Lexington. There's a lot of great stuff that we haven't gotten to share with you yet. So we hope you'll come out and bring friends and join us. It'll be outside, unless it rains, in which case it'll be in here. And then the Sunday Memorial Day weekend combo is going to be doing its final week of the year, and that'll be at the Lily Pad in Cambridge, which is one of the great remaining jazz venues in Boston. So we hope you'll come out for that. And there's more on the program, of course. There's a lot going on here. In addition to all the people that Justin Armani thanked, I want to thank Justin Armani as, he sells himself short because a lot of the folks that you hear in his band over the next couple of years you'll hear in this band, and it really makes my job, possible, never mind easier. I want to thank the custodial staff, they're fantastic. I want to thank the rest of our team in the Performing Arts Department, especially our boss, Jared Cassidy, who has moved mountains to keep things going the last couple of years. And again, thanks to all of you. I know the sacrifices that go into getting these folks to rehearsal on time and making sure that we can play at the level that we're capable of playing at and hopefully moving forward beyond. So thank you very much. And finally, the man himself, Russ Gershon. He's just been a fantastic inspiration. Russ is a testament to how far curiosity can take you in a good way. If any of you who came to his talk, just the way he got to Ethiopia, both figuratively and literally, is just remarkable. And I think it's really an inspiring, message to our students, not just in the music department. So we're going to close with another of the Ethiopian fusions. This is by Mr. Nalbandian. It's called Mambo Number 1. Jazz Ensemble. Mr. Russ Gershon. And if that's remember, Russ has CDs if you're interested. We also have some LHS jazz swag, so check that out on your way out. Have a wonderful evening. Thank you for coming. We hope to see you soon.